On Tuesday, November 19th, 2024, Tuesday, this is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. Monday Night Football, it wasn't close. And in fact, in 12:31 to go, the Texans had all wrapped it up in the fourth quarter, 27-10. Final was 34-10. Link to yesterday's podcast from here. We'll get back to football in a minute. Kansas and will play UC Wilmington. Donovan Newberry, Noah Rose, Joshua Corbin, Hunter Dickerson, DeJuan Harris, Zeke Mayo, and KJ Adams are all players to watch out for the Jayhawks. Game time for that game is at 7 p.m. tonight from Allen Fieldhouse. The other game is Purdue versus Marquette, 15 and Purdue 6. Trey Kaufman for Purdue and Cam Jones for Marquette. Kansas State will play Mrs. Valley State. Mizzou had a second biggest margin in victory in history for Mizzou, 111-39. Over the weekend, the Texas beat Mrs. Valley State handily. The Cats will play Mrs. Valley State. The Cats lost to LSU over the weekend. David Nagusher and our players to watch out for the Cats. Tip-off is at 7 tonight. Rex Ryan and Damian Woody will be talking about why they think Josh Allen is a better quarterback and why the Chiefs can't put teams away. How are the Chiefs going to win a playoff game and they're going to get knocked out in the playoffs? Here's that and more.
Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league. Josh Allen, the best quarterback in the league. Yeah, I know when I said that this morning, you were like, well, what about Lamar? What about Lamar Jackson? What about the Josh Allen's the best.
Patrick Mahomes.
Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the National Football League. Right now, he's the best quarterback. He can beat you. You know how you talk about styles make fun. He can play whatever way you want to play. If you need him to air it out and throw it all over the yard, Josh Allen can do that. If you want him rumbling and tumbling all over the field, guess what? He can do that. And you know the thing that he's doing, probably the best he's done all his whole career, is taking care of the football.
He is.
He's taking care of the football. Josh Allen puts on his cape when he needs to put on his cape. And going head-to-head against Patrick Mahomes yesterday in the game of the year, Josh Allen was playing some of his best ball in the biggest game of the year.
Every time you say Josh Allen right there, I believe you can insert Patrick Mahomes. Really, because I think we're talking about the same beast here. I mean, I've seen Patrick Mahomes make runs like that on 4th and 2 also.
But you know what? But you know what the difference is? See, I know where you're going. You're going to, well, let's fast forward. Let's wait till we get when the games really matter in the postseason. I think that's the only thing left for Josh Allen in this situation is the playoffs. Because we know that bad man on 15 has something to say during that moment. But right now, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the National Football League.
And see, I always said this. I always say the best player. And why do I say player over quarterback? Because he's more than just a quarterback. All right? This guy, let me tell you about him as a ball carrier. All right? 44% of the times that he carries the football, he runs for first downs. There's no ball carrier in the history of the National Football League that can say that. Only Josh Allen. That's why he's the best player. He puts it every time. 4th down, hey, this just in. Josh Allen is going to carry it. Gonna carry it. Yeah. He'll carry it for wins on first downs. He'll carry it for touchdowns. This dude is an absolute beast. He reminds me of this, the greatest runner I've ever seen. And absolutely scared the hell out of me the first time I met him was Cam Newton.
Okay.
He runs like Cam Newton.
Yeah.
By the way, the best arm I've ever seen in my life.
He's built like Cam Newton, right? Cam works here on Fridays now, so
yeah.
I saw Cam Newton walk in the door the other day, and I went like this.
And you're like, oh yeah.
It's ridiculous how big he is, but Josh is that.
Because when I first saw him, I said, who the hell is going to tackle his ass?
Yeah.
Nobody. And the same thing for this guy. And by the way, so the best arm I ever saw in my life, gritty man, I was watching this guy, this John Elway guy. Oh my God, a bazooka when it comes out. They just sit back and say, load it up. Bam! There it is. It's a bazooka. That's how this kid throws. Why do I say he's the best red zone quarterback I've ever seen? Well, I've only seen 50 years of football. Mm-hmm. Why? Because nobody can tackle this guy. And he's got that. You have to have this gun in the red zone because there's such tight windows. All right, this guy's an absolute freak. I got to read this thing from Himbo. All right, right here. He's had, in the red zone over the last 2 seasons, 53 in 3 across the last 2 seasons in the red zone, touchdown to turnover ratio. Against the football team first.
Right.
All right, best in the league. Let's see, who's had the best quarterback rating against the Chiefs? That would be Josh Allen at 82.9. All right. Now, they sack the quarterback like crazy. Kansas City does, so that give them a huge. How many sacks yesterday? That'd be a big donut.
0, yeah.
Why? Because that man's playing quarterback.
Let's make some points here. All right, so Kansas City hadn't given up 30 points in a game since early last season. This is the first time they have. We had a number up on the screen a moment ago that showed that Kansas City's chance of getting the 1 seed is now 52%. We did this on Sunday Countdown yesterday. If Kansas City had won the game yesterday, that would have been 90-something%. It's now wide open. So this game meant everything because you pointed out the bye in the NFL is the biggest advantage you can have in any sport.
I believe it is.
Because there's only one. Yesterday would have ended the discussion. So that was a critical win for the Bills and a critical loss for Kansas City.
Because it puts pressure on them. It puts pressure on the Chiefs now. I mean, if the Bills were to win out, which is going to be difficult, but still, it's possible, and the Kansas City Chiefs lose one more, that home field advantage is gone. That bye is gone. It's going to go to the Buffalo Bills.
Teddy, Kansas City plays in a much tougher division. I mean, as they go down the rest of the way, we're talking about who's going to win and who's going to lose. The Bills have a 5-game lead in the AFC East in the win column. Kansas City's dealing with the Chargers, who we'll get to in a minute. You keep talking all the time about how they don't knock anybody out, and yesterday it came back to bite them.
Absolutely, Grady. Imagine that. And so when I look
right
at
again.
this, right again, it's crazy. It's just every week. But who the hell am I? I don't know. But let's just say this. You don't win by knockout. This is scary as hell because every single team on your, I don't care, maybe with the exception of Carolina, every single team thinks they got a chance to beat you. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them. They remind me of Philadelphia last year. What happened? The implosion. Right? They won 10 games, and then they lost one.
You're not suggesting that they're going to suddenly.
No, I'm not.
Right.
It's very similar. I said the same thing about Philly. It's a dangerous game you're playing. Like when you're playing teams that you should dominate, you better dominate them. And if not, every single team's going to hang around. Every single team. And I'll tell you where it's really going to play is in the playoffs. That's when it really shows. Because now all of a sudden you're playing a good football team, you're kind of hanging around and all that stuff, and teams, you can't make up a 14-point deficit in the playoffs. And that's the thing, and we've seen them do it. I get it. Patrick Mahomes, this is not the same team. You mentioned those tackles. They can't pass block. This offense is not even close to what we've seen in the past.
Let me give you another area, too, that I'm concerned about between the Chiefs offensively is, I love Worthy on the sweeps outside. I mean, you give it to him on reverses or whatever. He has to establish himself consistently deep down the field. He's a track athlete. You've told me he's a track athlete playing football, and it looks like it on those deep balls, okay? Here it is right here. This should be a big play in the game. Wide open. This kid, he doesn't drag his feet. I don't know. He tries to drag his right foot a little bit early. I mean, this is football 101 here, especially for a receiver.
He challenged Rex Ryan on a few things. Is he sure that Allen just is better? I just need to know one thing. What's his record against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs? It's 1-3. And he's never won a Super Bowl, and that's not my fault. And maybe it's not his fault or it is his fault, but no matter what, Mahomes is coming out on top. And I know finally you talked about this last year, but the Chiefs ended up winning the Super Bowl last year when you were talking about this, how the Chiefs couldn't get it done. And one more thing, you got to go beat the champ to be the champ in a lot of situations, and it might be in this postseason. That's Sam on Sports.